So what else can we do? What other shapes can we make? The line segment tool is just one of a series of tools which focus on making lines. Now, a lot of tools here in Illustrator have a little arrow in the corner, and you can click and hold anywhere on that icon and bring up the drop-down. So if you want to access these tools more regularly, go to the little grey line at the edge which tears off this collection of icons. You can double-click on the title bar to make it vertical. You can drag it here and redock it to the tools if you wish. This first tool, the line segment tool, I can use to simply draw line segments. And as you might expect, holding Shift is for straight lines. But there's a lot more to Illustrator's lines than simply straight lines. There is an arc tool, and as you use the arc tool, you click and drag from one corner to the other. You can make it a closed arc, which is what I've got at the moment, or pressing the C key flips it to an open arc, or back again. This can be quite a useful option, as can the option to flip the arc around by pressing F. But probably the most interesting option for arcs is using the up and down arrows to make the arc bend in either direction. I'm going to drop that one there. I'm going to draw one again, but this time I'm going to hold Shift as I draw the shape, and Shift constrains width and height to be equal to produce a more regular arc. If you want more control, double-click on the tool and you can choose to enter these values by hand. You can define all of the options, including the slope, which is what I was changing before with the up and down arrows. However, it can be more useful to click on the canvas, because clicking on the canvas gives you the same dialog but will actually insert the shape. Double-click will let you change the presets, more useful for saying is it closed, is it open, how is it oriented, and what's the slope. But to actually put in an object of a particular type, click on the canvas, undo that, and then you'll get the option. It is fairly simple to just drag a small box when you're meant to double-click if you're using a tablet like I am now. If that happens to you, just Command Z. What else have we got? We've got some spirals. The spirals are really nice. I'll just hold space and move down. As I drag a spiral out, holding Shift will keep it oriented so that the end lands at 45-degree angles. But I can also press the up and down arrows to dial the spiral in or out. And the really fun option is if I hold the Command key, then I can get a tighter or less dense, more or less dense spiral. Now, these are quite useful things, and spirals can be used for, putting type on a path which runs all the way in, or for countless other things, especially when combined with other shapes. There are also some grids, and I'll just show you these briefly. As you'd expect, the up and down arrows do interesting things, either more or less columns or rows, and hold Shift to make the whole thing square. The rectangular polar grid is also a useful one and can be quite useful as a side effect for making targets or bullseyes.